Black Print family, what's going on? This is Luke Starner. I don't know if you guys have met me or not. A lot of y'all haven't. I met a lot of you guys at the last Black Print meetup um, down in Memphis. I actually just recorded a video and it cut me off at 15 minutes and deleted it. So this is my second video. You don't know that. But either way, I'm going to have probably two videos, maybe even three. So you're talking a 30 or 45 minute process here. If Al doesn't like it, he can just, trash them. That's fine. No big deal. Not worried about it. Either way, hoping to look forward to seeing you guys in Miami. I'll be there. A couple shout outs out to Marcus, whose house I'm in right now recording this, and to my buddy Nate in the group too. If you guys haven't talked to him, he's a great dude, knows a lot. Same thing with Arthur. These guys know a lot of stuff and can help you out. Obviously, thanks to Al, who calls me out on my BS whenever I try to take a stupid trade. And he cares more about my success rather than my feelings. That is very, very important, especially to the beginners. So if I haven't met you guys yet, I'll do that in Miami. Looking forward to it. So this video is going to be for beginners. All right. So Al, Arthur, Jason, all y'all pros, veterans out there who were there before me and a lot better at trading. Y'all probably won't get a whole lot out of this video. It's probably just confirmation of things you already know, but I did want to reach out to the beginners, those who are on the fence, those who maybe want to quit their job and go full time or not. I wanted to share with you guys my experience and what goes through my head on a daily basis, and what the struggle was before that too. Um, so this video is also about process. It's about my process and what I do, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'll tell you guys a couple losses that I've had, especially this week and last week. These past couple months have been a little tough for me. I took about a month off. I was going through some family stuff, so it's very important to have your mind right. But I'll go through all that. I'll go through my mental checklist. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty in-depth video, and there won't be a whole lot of stuff like Mario was talking about. His stuff was pure gold. I think I can get an amen to that. But either way, it won't be as much as that. Y'all know how to do the 34 method. That's what I use. I'll go over, how many screens are on my computer and all that kind of stuff too. So not a whole lot of technical stuff, but just more so mindset, since 80% of trading is psychological. So the beginners, I didn't do this whenever I was just starting out. I didn't write things down that were valuable to me. So if I have any value or whatever, write them down and keep them with you. Take a journal everywhere you go. If you're trading somewhere, keep your rules with you. Take them to your computer screen. That kind of stuff. If you want to take notes, that'll make me feel important. So if you want to, go for it. Um, let's see where we're at here. So let me tell you about the little benefits that I've had being a full-time trader. I've had endless amounts of time. I started trading full-time back in June and moved up to Washington, D.C., and it was a really scary kind of experience at first. I was actually more bored than anything for the first couple weeks, and Al knows about that too. But let me tell you how cool life can be for you, like it was for me. I went scuba diving in September in Cancun through a shipwreck. Pretty cool stuff. I went and slept with wild horses out in Assateague, Maryland. They got a beach with wild horses still, and you can sleep on the beach. It was awesome. I did a road trip to Maine, up in Portland, Maine. We stayed up in Portland, which was pretty awesome. Saw the lighthouses and things. So, hiked in Acadia National Forest, which is pretty awesome. Been to Nashville and Memphis and DC, and the whole point of that is you got freedom. You have freedom to do whatever you want, which is awesome. In fact, I had so much freedom, I didn't know what to do with it. I called Al. I'm like, Al, I'm so bored and I can do whatever and I'm free. What do I do? And I'll never forget it. This is one of the stuff or one of the things I wrote down. He said, do what you love because now you have the time to do it, which is so cool. So anyway, let's see here. Since then, I've read 16 books. I've read like 5 a year before that. In 6 months you can do that, and you can learn so much and develop your mindset and your way of thinking. I've learned so much about the real estate market, which I'm getting into with my dad down in Memphis, which is pretty awesome. Thanks to Nate too. Shout out again. Anyway, let's see here. So you can do whatever you want. You can learn a new language. You can do stuff because you've got all the time in the world, which is awesome. If those of you guys with families, with kids, I don't have any kids. That's going to be pretty awesome to be able to spend that much time with your kids and stuff too. So, good luck if you want to go for it. I'm all for it, obviously, because I'm doing it. But with all the benefits, you have to take the negatives too. So, there's always extra risk whenever you just trade. Obviously, you don't have that full-time income. You've got to be able to budget out for the next couple of months or whatever. I had a big chunk of change saved up from my former business, so I recommend doing that while you're learning for the first year. I've only been doing it for 6 months, and that's come in handy for sure. That doesn't mean that you're not going to make money, but either way. Let's see here. Yeah, the last month, man. Yeah, last month was a little tough for me. I was thankful I had a little bit of cash saved up too, which is pretty nice. Every time you make a bad trade or you have a bad methodology, and by bad trade, I don't mean a losing trade, because if you do a losing trade and follow the process, that's a win in my book. But if you have a bad methodology, then that could mean you not paying your rent. So you better be on top of things if you want to go full time. You better have a good P&L. Anyway, and for me, boredom was my enemy, and that made me, really tough at first to start trading. But let's see, what else did I have in here? So let me tell you a little bit about how I got full-time success, and this is just the mindset that you have to have if you're going to go full-time. And like I said, this whole video is for beginners. So if you want to keep listening, go for it. If you don't think you're going to get anything out of it, put your time to better use. So for me, full-time success in trading started out before I went full-time. So getting in the right mindset, which is pretty important. So what I would recommend, instead of listening to me, go listen to maybe a Dan Pena video, which is pretty important. I used to watch that thing, twice a month, 3 times a month. And I still watch it about once a month just to make sure my mindset's right. And the video I'm talking about is the one where he says you had a process, a monkey could follow it, and you're still not doing it. You got to dumb down yourself and get your mind right. And you're poor because you don't follow the process, and you've been given a process and you're not following it. So go watch that video. It's great. You can find it on YouTube, and watch it and get in that mindset. Be stupid. In other words, just dumb down and follow the process. Don't think you know everything. Okay. And then before you take another trade, like I said, for beginners, go read Trading in the Zone. Mario mentioned it. Al mentioned it forever ago to all the first time guys. It's the Bible for trading. It is so important. Completely changed my mindset. I'll tell you a regret. This is no sugarcoating. I didn't read it for the first 2 years I was trading. I have no idea why, just because I was working a full-time job and doing other things and just didn't really, I guess I felt like I could trade whatever. And I'm sitting there losing. I wonder why. And you read that book and it's the most eye-opening book you can imagine. It's wonderful. So like I said, do that. And then let's see here. Get a mentor. Oh wait, you've got one. It's Al Pickett. Utilize him. I didn't utilize Al's advice and expertise and experience for until about a year ago. Like I said, I have no idea why. He's Maybe it's just because he's a little intimidating because he's so good at trading and he's going to call you out on your BS if you make some stupid comment or whatever. That's a good thing. He cares more about your success than he does your feelings. That's the kind of mentor you want. And guess what? You don't have to pay him like a stupid monthly fee or any of that stuff. Use him. Use the group. If you haven't talked to the group about, trading or reaching out and just taking that first step of saying, hey, Arthur, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? Or, hey, Jason, I know you've been doing this for a while. Can you help me out? If you don't want to talk to Al, talk to somebody. You need help. You need help getting through it. And this whole group is such a good support group. And if, for me, for the first 2 years, I didn't utilize anybody in the group. That's my fault alone. That's nobody else's fault. Al's told everybody a million times to utilize the group. You can do it. So if you guys want to utilize me with the beginners, go for it. And if there's any benefits I can give to the veteran guys, then I mean I'll try, I guess. Whatever. Either way, utilize OWL and do it. It's very important for success. So let me go over, I guess, my checklist in the next video of what I use for my mindset and everything too. Okay, so let me go ahead and set that up. Yeah, actually, I'm just going to keep going. If you want to watch the next video, I'm going to have a thing called my Big Boy Trader Rules. It's funny, and I'll explain why in the next video. And hopefully it won't be 15 minutes long. Either way, so for your process, you want to start out by developing a checklist for your mental state. Create the list, okay? And I'm going to go over my list on the next video, okay? Write down your rules of entry, your stop loss, your take profit, and when you're going to go to break even, okay? And this is a trading in the zone mentality. Tape them up on your computer while you're starting out. All right, like I said, this video is for beginners. So these are things that I wish I would have done a long time ago when I was even had a full-time job still. So tape them up on your computer screen. All right, because that's very important. And then go through the checklist before you push the button. What that's going to do too is it's going to make you be a little bit more patient and teach you a little bit more patience too. So and track your trades. All right, so I think I mentioned Jason Sullivan earlier. He and Marcus always send out at the end of the week what their pips were. That just creates accountability. It means you weren't, frivolous with your pips, right? Because the market doesn't care if it's going to take pips from you, or you're going to give them to them. The market's ruthless, but the thing is, the market doesn't care about you. And I'll go over one of my reminders on my next video too. So anyway, Jason does a good job, and if you track your trades and stuff, that means you track them by the pip percentage rather than the money, which is great when you're getting into 2 or 3 lot sizes, because then you get kind of scared, all that kind of stuff too. So let's see here. So I use the 34 method. Y'all know how the 34 method works. If you see my screen, I've got 3 different tabs open. Thanks to Marcus, I figured this out, because with a 34 method, if you have the alert that sends off every 1 hour and 4 hours or whatever, then for whatever reason my computer won't have the fractal lines updated on there. So the fractal lines are on this one, and then the 34 is on this one, and then I like to see the 89, so that's on this one. You notice I've only got 1 pair on my screen. This attributes to a little bit more boredom, but it also allows you to control things a lot better. If you can trade 7 or whatever, then go for it. Just do whatever you're comfortable with. But I minimize my loss, and I can control my losses better whenever it's only on 1 pair. There might be a time in my life where I get to 2. Maybe when I get really successful at 1, I can go to 2. Either way, I'm not going to lose money to find out. I'm going to stick with 1. I use the 34. I'm not going to go over the rules with 34. Y'all know if you don't, then there's something wrong, because it works and it's pretty great. So the last thing before I go into my next video, and I'm going to do this in 1:30 seconds, my approach to handling loss. Okay, I stopped calling it the word loss, because it's not a loss. For me, it's a cost of doing business. So in other words, if you buy something and then you have to sell it, you've had to buy it up front. Well, you're buying your way to those wins. As long as you follow the process, it's going to be around there. So I assume that I'm going to lose out of 10 trades. I'm going to lose 6. I'm going to break even. 4. Then I'm going to break even on 4, and I'm going to win 2, which puts me at a net even 0. Okay, that's my assumption every month, and I do it bi-monthly, not weekly. But every month for me, I assume I'm going to break even on all my trades. So I'll go over it into a little bit more next time, but one of the things that I see is I'm going to win 60% of the time. So out of my 6, or out of my 4 losses, 6 of them are going to be a 2 win, and the other ones are break even. I can't tell you how important this is, and it changed my view of thinking. Is break even is a successful trade. That's very, very important. But anyway, if you want to watch my next video, go for it. I'm going to go over my big boy trader rules just for me, and they're my personal reminders and what I do whenever I don't think I have my mind right. Other than that, I hope you guys like the video. Regardless, I think it's going to be helpful to a couple of y'all. And if y'all need any help, feel free to reach out to me. I'll give you my cell number, and I hope everybody has a great week.